Have you ever taken the time to think about the significance of initial interactions you have with other people? Well, those initial interactions are very important in determining if a relationship will continue or not. According to S.E. Ash, we look at a person and immediately a certain impression of his character forms itself in us. And so when I see someone, I immediately start predicting their behaviors or kind of predicting what they will look like and what type of character they have. And so I will look at them and maybe think they are a nice person, or I will look at them and maybe think they are a not so nice person. And so the impression that we first receive of someone affects how we will continue a relationship with them or not continue a relationship with them at all. And so we either take the steps to reduce uncertainty about them and not take the steps to predict how to act around them, because we don't really care about how to act around them if we never want to continue a relationship with them. And so this idea interested the scholars Charles Berger and Richard Calabrese into creating the uncertainty reduction theory in 1975. And with this, it focused on the initial interactions between individuals. And in this theory, they defined 7 axioms and 21 theorems that take a look at the detailed initial interactions between individuals, why people do what they do, and how they will choose behaviors in future interactions with someone. And so to kind of set the tone for what this looks like and their interactions in an initial interaction, I've asked my friend Corbin to help me with a conversation. This is the first time me and Corbin have met. He is a new employee at the workplace, and I'm just kind of asking questions and kind of get to know him a little bit better. And so watch and listen to this initial conversation that we have, and then think about how this relates to you and how you interact in initial interaction. And so, hey Corbin, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's my first day on the job.
It's your first day? Oh my gosh, well where are you from?
I'm from Newport News, Virginia.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Really?
I've lived there all my life, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. So how do you like to work? You know, are you a quality worker? Do you like to focus on your things and get stuff done? Or do you like interaction? Or
I like less interaction, the better.
Less interaction.
I get really distracted quickly, so the less interaction, the better I can focus on my job.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, because I like a lot of talking. I like a lot of communication. So I'll have to know now not
opposite.
to. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk to you while you're working, so I want to make sure that you get your work done. So what do you like to do when you're not working? What are your hobbies?
Be outdoors, go to the beach, watch sports.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Me too. I love all of those things.
Wow.
I think we are going to get along great.
I think so too.
Great. Well, see you, Corbin. It was
all
so
right.
nice to see
meeting you.
Thanks, Corbin, for that interaction. So when we view this type of interaction and we apply the uncertainty reduction theory to it, you saw that I was asking Corbin a lot of questions because I didn't know anything about him. And the reason why I was doing that was to reduce my uncertainty about him and to kind of gain knowledge about how he works, the things that he likes to do. And so that way we could build a base about our similarities and our differences. And so one aspect of the uncertainty reduction theory is that high levels of uncertainty cause increases in information-seeking behavior. As uncertainty levels decline, information-seeking behavior decreases. And so as shown in the conversation, me and Corbin exchanged in information-seeking behaviors because we did not know anything about each other. And so our information-seeking behaviors were at an all-time high, probably the highest that they'll be at any point in our relationship, because we have no idea anything about each other. And so after these multiple interactions, the information-seeking behavior can decrease. And because the uncertainty reduction is reduced, there's not necessarily a need to ask more questions. And so now Corbin's going to come back, and this is going to be after about a month or so of knowing him and having multiple conversations with him. And so he's going to come back over, and we're going to do a second interaction, or an interaction that's happened after several times. And so we kind of already know each other about each other. So, Corbin, how are you?
Good. How
oh my
are
gosh,
you?
it's
nice
so good to see you again. So, did you watch the game this weekend?
Of course I watched the game. Did you?
Duh. I mean, we did talk about before how we both love sports.
That's
we
right.
like soccer and everything. So, we both watched that game. I kind of figured that you would.
Of course.
And so how are you liking the job so far? Are you feeling like you're able to focus and all of that? I've tried not to talk to you a whole lot.
I know. I've been doing well, and I'm getting used to the job, and I really like it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I know that we're supposed to hang out this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yep, looking forward to it. I'll see you then.
Well, it's great to see
Bye.
you. Bye, Corbin. And so with this interaction, we've kind of gotten to know each other a little bit better. It's more personal. I'm asking less questions. He's asking less questions because we kind of know what's going on with each other and our likes and our dislikes. And so, and then in 1990, William Douglas found that during initial interaction, self-disclosure is likely to occur to the extent that persons anticipate reciprocation by a partner. And so the likelihood that I thought that Corbin would engage me in conversation and ask me questions back kind of determined the extent to which I felt engaged in the conversation, and I wanted to ask more questions and also disclose information about myself, about how, yes, I like sports, yes, I like being outdoors, and all of those things because I felt engaged with Corbin and I felt that he was feeling the same way. And then also, William Douglas found that individuals who find initial interactions as negative and less satisfying, they don't engage in initial social interactions because they view it negatively and less satisfying, and they are also less likely to build long-term relationships because they're scared of that initial interaction. And so in this situation, if Corbin would have, if I would have said, "Hey Corbin, how are you?" and he would have completely ignored me or not try to talk to me at all and not engage in conversation because he viewed that negatively. And so he would have just walked away in that type of situation. And so to take this theory even further, William Gudekunst, he found that the more intimacy in communication and some similarity in attitudes, the uncertainty is reduced. And this supports Berger and Calabrese's claim in Axiom 6, which states similarities between persons reduce uncertainty, while dissimilarities produces increases in uncertainty. And so in Corbin and I's initial interaction, we found a lot of similarities. We're from the same area. We both like outdoors. We both like sports. And so that increases my uncertainty, or that increases my knowledge about him. And so therefore I'm less likely to ask more questions because I can relate to him. I kind of know what's going on with him in his life and what he likes to do. And so as we engaged in more and more conversations and throughout our relationship, we were able to develop more similarities and more things that we liked and could share about each other. And so also to take this uncertainty reduction theory a little bit further, researchers have evaluated the theory in the context of social media. Social media has become very big and very important in our society. And so researchers have focused on uncertainty reduction theory in the social media. And so Corbin is going to come back and kind of give us an example of what that looks like and what the researchers found. So, hey Corbin!
Hey, I just met this really pretty girl. She loves the beach. She lives in Florida. She loves to be outdoors. Yeah.
How do you know all this stuff?
Well,
Where'd you
I
meet
saw
her?
it on Facebook.
Oh, you saw it on Facebook.
Yeah,
So you haven't really
I haven't
met
met
her
yet.
yet.
No, but I think that I would like her.
You think you'll like her a lot
Yeah.
because of Facebook?
Yeah.
With all the information on there?
Yep. All
Wow.
that I've seen.
Wow, that's so interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
well thanks for that, Corbin.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you. So, as you saw, Corbin knew all this information about this girl that he had never had an initial interaction with. He had never met her. He had never spoken with her or had, a chance to exchange in conversation with her. And so he found all this information out through Facebook, through her Facebook page. And so this research was done in 2012. And so what the researchers found was that the more information and the more self-disclosure given on Facebook, the more a person, for example, in this situation, Corbin, could predict the behaviors or could predict how he would like this person. And so because the person that he viewed on Facebook disclosed a lot of information about themselves, he had a better understanding of what she was like, and so that reduced his uncertainty, as opposed to people who only have one picture and don't really share information on Facebook. There's less information given, so Corbin may have felt less likely to think that he would like her because he didn't know anything about her. And so that's kind of the evaluation of uncertainty reduction theory in the context of different situations and in today's society, how that relates to social media. And so in conclusion, uncertainty reduction theory is very important because it helps us understand why we do what we do in initial reactions and how we predict behaviors to move forward with our relationships. And so it's important for us to be able to communicate and interpersonally interact with one another because it helps us to predict behaviors and choose behaviors based on what we know about that person. And so, like in the conversation as stated, Corbin said he likes to focus at work and doesn't like distractions. And so I knew then from then on, if I wanted to continue in that relationship with him, I wouldn't talk to him at work. I'd be very respectful of his time and him focusing on his work. And so that uncertainty reduction allowed me to predict behaviors about how I would act with him in future situations. And it also allows us to build relationships and determine the extent to which the relationships will last. So when I asked Corbin questions in our initial interaction, I likely at the end of it had a desire to continue that relationship because of the similarities that were involved and because of the likability of each other and the information that was self-disclosed, and I felt that he was also reciprocating the information. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned a lot.